Every time you use ChatGPT, you're handing over a lot more than your questions. Most people have no idea that their conversations could end up shaping the responses to complete strangers, or that the apps that they've connected can give OpenAI a complete window into their whole digital life. None of this is exactly hidden. It's somewhere in the terms, but it's not something that OpenAI goes out of their way to tell you. Here's 6 settings that give you back some of that control. Number 1. Prevent your data from being used to train the models. By default, ChatGPT uses your conversations to train its models. That means that everything you type into ChatGPT, meaning your questions, your documents, or your ideas, become part of the dataset that shapes how the tool responds to everyone that uses it. Even more alarmingly, your personal information can end up in responses to complete strangers, without your knowledge and without your consent. Researchers call this regurgitation. What most people don't know is that you don't have to accept this. To limit the risk of your personal data leaking out, you can prevent your chats from being used to train these models altogether. To do this, you just go to Settings, then Data Controls, and turn off Improve the model for everyone. Number 2. Review third-party apps that ChatGPT can access. When ChatGPT launched, it was just a chat window. Now, it can browse the web on your behalf, it can run as an agent, connect to apps you use every day, such as your Gmail, Google Drive, and even tools like Canva. This means the more that you connect, the more ChatGPT can build a full picture of your life that goes far beyond what you would consciously choose to share with any single company. And another thing, that data does not just sit there. OpenAI and its developers can collect, process, and share it in ways that you probably don't expect or knowingly accept. In order to limit these risks, you should regularly review which apps ChatGPT is connected to and remove services that you don't or no longer use. This is particularly important if you are using ChatGPT Plus or Pro, as more connected apps are available and ChatGPT Agent Mode can use those apps with limited control from the user. To change this, you can go to Settings, then Apps, and go through what's in there. You should remove anything that you don't recognize or no longer use. And don't forget to review the permissions that you've given apps to connect with ChatGPT, as disconnecting from ChatGPT's site alone isn't always enough. Number 3. Manage if and how your chats are shared. If you're a ChatGPT user, you've probably shared a conversation at some point. You send a link to a colleague or to a friend. It feels the same as sharing a document, really, but people forget that that link is public. And most people share it and they will never think about it again. In theory, only people with the link could read the conversation, but it's not impossible for that link to be indexed by a search engine and end up somewhere online, meaning that a conversation that you casually shared at work or with a friend could be findable by anyone. This means that before sharing any chat, it's worth making sure that it doesn't contain anything personal or sensitive. And for the ones that you've already shared and forgotten about, here's an easy way to find them and delete them. You can just go to Settings, then Data Controls, and click Manage next to Shared Links. Delete anything that you don't want public anymore. Number 4. Delete chats. Like emails or messages, your ChatGPT chats might contain sensitive information that you wouldn't want others to access. You wouldn't want to leave sensitive emails sitting open on your screen, would you? In the same way, it's good practice to delete chats that you won't come back to. To do this, you can click the 3 dots next to any chat and delete. You can also delete all chats at once in Data Controls. Número 5. Turn on two-factor authentication. Make sure that your account is actually secure so that no one else can log in and access your chats in the first place. We can do that by turning on two-factor authentication, which means that even if someone gets hold of your password, they won't be able to get in unless they get the second code sent to your device. You can just go to Settings, then Security and Multi-Factor Authentication. Just follow the steps from there. Beware that you will need an authenticator app to finish the process. Number 6. Turn off ad personalization. ChatGPT has started showing ads to some users. It is rolling out in the US and gradually expanding to other countries. If ads have reached you, it's worth knowing that by default, your conversations can be used to profile you and target those ads. Good news, you can turn this off. Just go to Settings, then Ad Controls, and turn off ad personalization. These 6 steps are small but useful right now. But the fact that you have to go looking through all these settings and they're not on by default is a problem. The burden of protecting your privacy shouldn't fall on you alone. Companies should be building privacy by design, not burying these settings where most people will never find them. Governments should be holding these companies accountable, and you should never have to opt out of something you never knowingly opted into.